Let's get started then, shall we? Okay, I'm 99.9% sure this transition works. On the off chance that it doesn't work, well, sure, good night. Okay, yeah, transition work. Okay, first things first, go ahead and reintroduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Rira Chiyong. I am a Healing Dragon VTuber and V artist who basically just either like draws, does live 2D rigging, and games basically.
Mm-hmm.
But usually the kind of games I play are RPGs or like, sometimes like Nintendo, like any other Nintendo game really. Or indie, or like those like really like small indie games, like because I find those fun too.
Fair enough. That was quite succinct in comparison to last time, I think. At least,
Yeah.
I think. Though I think last time you might have also branded yourself as a variety streamer at the time.
Yeah, I did, but well, technically I am, but like I feel like I'm having a somewhat direction here, kind of.
Alright. I've gone over way too many people in the last 2 years where it's just been, yes, I'm a variety streamer. The main game I play is Apex.
Oh, Apex. I haven't played that in forever.
Yeah, I've had that maybe, when I last counted, maybe 5 or 6 times. And of course on Redeems the Cat Redeem Comment, there's going to be a whole bunch of nyas following things for the next 5 minutes now, so yeah,
No
it is what
worries.
it is now. Don't worry, it is only redeemable once per stream. I made sure of that because the first time it was redeemable now, people redeemed it for 2 hours straight now.
Well.
Then they did that again for the following stream for 3 hours straight now.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Anyhow, first things first then. So what inspired your current design then, yeah?
What inspired my current design? So around last like August or so, I was just kind of like, I was kind of feeling a bit off about my design at the time, so I was like, maybe I should come up with a new design or new outfit, but I was kind of struggling. Like I was like working on my own design. I was like struggling to come up with an idea. Like actually my idea was just like, oh, why not add like crystals to the horns and tails, because I have yet to see a dragon VTuber do that at the time. So I did that, but then I struggled with an outfit. So I was trying to look for artists, but most of the artists said their commissions were closed. And then Hollow Council debuted. I saw really pretty art of Fauna. I saw the fan artist name, and it also said commissions open. So I was like, oh, I gotta check her out. And yeah, that's how I got the design.
Ah, okay then. Mhm.
Yeah, and she's a really nice and pleasant person to work with too. And I was also surprised to find out she also lived in Canada.
Ah. Yeah, that works out then, yeah.
Yeah, it was a like Han is a very pleasant experience to work with.
Because, yeah, when I was going over your design for the pixel art earlier, yeah, for your...
Yeah, there's a lot of details.
I will say, for your original design, I had a murderous time when it came for gradients. This time around, I was just like, see, I need to work with a whole bunch of details this time now.
That's okay. Like I think with my design, like at least when you can like see the art from my panels, like I did tell the artist, hey, you're okay. It's okay to simplify the design, because I also kind of want to make it so that like you can draw the details if you want, but you can also draw me simplified also.
Fair enough, yeah. I'd say this will just be a random curveball, but hi. You think there is an extent where things get over-designed then, yeah? At least within the VTubing sphere.
Sometimes there is, yeah, because it's like usually when it comes to designs, like you don't want to overdo it. Sometimes there's like there exists like designs that are overly cluttered, and I'm like, oh, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Because the thing I find is if your design is way too complicated, it becomes very difficult for a random fan artist to try and pick it up and do it now.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I love you people with like techwear designs, but some techwear designs can be overly complicated, and I'm like, whoa. like they'll overdo it, like overdo the like asymmetry, and I'm like, oh, okay, calm down. Because the thing is about character design, or especially like VTuber model design, is like silhouette's important.
Oh yeah, 100%. Silhouette is always important when it comes to character design, yeah. And
Yeah,
there are some simple examples in gaming, even like one of the worst silhouettes but surprisingly iconic character is, say, Dante from Devil May Cry.
Oh yeah, Dante. Yeah, Dante's silhouette would probably be like who dat.
Yeah, Dante's silhouette's kind of garbage, especially in a good chunk of the poses they try and throw the guy into. On the other hand, some of the other characters in that, they're okay. Like, you can maybe make out Virgil, you can maybe make out Nero these days, but everyone else...
Trish just looks like action woman, but not Trish.
Yep. But if we were to go to somewhere where surprisingly... Maybe because of simplicity of the design. Yep, definitely a simplicity of design. Any of the Sonic characters.
Oh yeah. Oh, Sonic is especially like recognizable.
Yep. Sonic characters in general now, very easy to recognize by silhouette now. But yeah, when it comes to VTuber designs, a good chunk of them now are generic anime person with a lot of fancy details. Yeah.
There's been a lot of trends lately, depending on like what year or so is happening. Like last year was so much tech wear. It's like tech wear this, tech wear that. Like to the point where I'm like, maybe I should get myself like fan art of me in tech wear, but that's it. Like fan art or like scab art of tech wear, but no official art. And then at one point there was like a surge of like, there's like a random surge of water dragon VTubers around like end of December, early January. I was pretty surprised, and I was like, there seems to be a surge of like water dragons lately.
Water dragons, yeah. Like it was like when at the start of the VTuber boom where everyone was like, yes, let us do aquatic animals now.
Oh yeah, like sea tubers. Like I think everyone like was like, oh, sea tubers, oh, pink cat, which is also very popular, and that kind of thing. And then it like went to like tech wear, and then like water dragons, and I'm like, okay, what's happening? And actually, I wonder what's the trend now.
What's the current trend now? Let's see. I don't know. I think
regarding newer VTubers,
I've seen more like edgier designs, I guess now.
No, I got the
Okay, well, what do you got? What do you got?
goddess.
Goddess.
God, oh yeah, there's a lot of goddesses now. Goddesses, oh, and people like rebranding to demons, I think.
Gods and demons, angels and demons now.
Oh wow, now it's really ascended to the godhood now.
Yeah. I don't know. At first, with indie VTube, there was a lot of people which went ahead for that whole, yes, I'm a god of some kind, and I'll be honest, after reading over the lore and whatnot, a good chunk of the time I'd be like, man, no, God, no, don't do this. Don't do this. This is chuny as fuck, man. Don't do this.
It's not Junie. Wait, would that mean that like pretty much a good chunk of like us VTubers are like god VTubers would especially be super chuny?
Yeah, pretty much. A heck of a lot of you are chuny. You'll look back in a year and just cringe really badly.
Yeah, like at the time when I first started VTubing, yeah, I was pretty chuny, and then this year I was like, you know what, fuck it, no more, I'm done. All done. I be me unhinged. That's all.
Yeah. And when I first ran into you, it was, let's see, it was Mahjong collab you once had with like Sasha Ari and Blue, I think it was. Yeah, that was way back when.
That was actually a Phasma collab with like Sasha Hazumi and Nanami at the time.
Oh yeah, there was another one like that, huh? But yeah.
Yeah.
Way back when.
That was like a long time ago.
And
now
that was when it was still like very high pitched voice and everything.
Yeah, like when I used, because I was so goddamn insecure about my voice, but now I'm just like I don't care anymore.
I still find the hilarious part of me just randomly joining a VC one time, hearing your regular voice and being like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine, and you just getting embarrassed as all hell.
Yeah, I was embarrassed because I was actually like so horribly insecure about my voice to the point where I had to like disguise it, and because I thought my voice sounded like terrible, but now I'm just like I think one time I like revealed it as normal, but everyone seemed to like it a lot more than the high pitch, so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll drop it.
It's a fair bit more unique. I once had an interviewee come on here, give the, yes, this is my clout chasey voice, blah, 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 full on high pitch and everything. And then they swapped back to their regular voice. And I'm just like, oh, wow. Damn, you pull that off for like 6 hours at a time? Okay, sure.
I will say this, it does like do work on the voice for sure.
I can imagine. Good lord. Anyhow. Back to it, so I have to ask, why did you keep the healer dragon kind of affair throughout the entire time?
To keep up some consistency, and I think I was a little bit too attached to the Rira character, and Rira being like a healing dragon, but now I'm just like, except Rira's probably just a bit more unhinged.
Like, okay, the particularly funny thing I find is the original one was like somewhat aura inspired by the look of it, more or less. Just horns, shapes,
like
etc. Yeah. Very FF14.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, I actually find the current one even more FF inspired than the previous one, which is funny.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's just the color scheme, actually. Because if you think of it, a good chunk of the way white mages were depicted, red and white.
Oh, I see.
So the moment,
oh my god.
the moment I saw it, I was like, hold up a second. This has to be intentional at this point. Healer, white mage colors.
Okay, that was. I promise you that is not intentional. The white happened because it was supposed to be like Hanbok inspired.
Okay.
Well, like I think one of the options was like originally the skirt was going to be like a pink like light pastel bluish, but then I was showing my friends like the process, and they're like, "Nah, that clashes way too much. Go for the black one." And I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, it worked out fine in the end. Because then the next thing I thought after that was, okay, so white and red. Okay, white mage. Okay. Thinks of certain healer outfits out of Stormblood, Shisui.
It kind of does look like it, but it's like more like it's just more like based off of like a modern Hamburg.
Yeah. No, it's fair enough. It's fair enough. It's just, hi. I couldn't help but draw that parallel when I was going through this. I was like,
That's very understandable.
It's like, to be fair, I liked that outfit as well. Apparently a lot of other people like that outfit because it pops up on Scab way too often, but, you know.
The white mage outfit.
Yep, white mage outfit or just any variation of Shisui. Well, Shisui dungeon armor, pretty much.
They're all so pretty. And yeah, I noticed that a lot of people do like FF14 OCs on Scab.
Oh, yeah. I have my own grievances with that from time to time, but you know what? Moving along. So, why stick with VTubing specifically? After all of this time in this sphere, what kept you around?
What kept me around? What kept me around was the community, like the community I made, but it's also because like I also kind of stayed like this because I also kind of want to like get back into doing art again and like doing art streams. Art streams are a lot of fun too, even though it's just me just kind of sitting there drawing. Like I sometimes like talk about things from time to time while drawing, then back to drawing. But sometimes like I use like VTubing as a way of like forcing myself to beat games because I have a lot of games backlogged and I'm like, yeah, I need to beat that. Or like a bunch of friends will tell me, hey, you need to play this game, and I'm like, okay, fine, and I play that game and just put myself on the spot while playing it.
Okay, how bad's your backlog?
It's very bad. I still haven't beaten Xenoblade 3 yet. I haven't even beaten Final Fantasy 7 Remake or Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah.
FF15, I haven't beaten them. Yeah, I need to play FF9 because my friend's like forcing me now.
Wow.
Yeah, let's just say my friend said I committed a lot of crimes.
I'm just like, okay. Bunch of really lengthy RPGs, oh god.
Yeah, JRPGs are fun though.
RPGs, they tend to be, how does one put it? So, generally, I like them because of how developed the combat systems usually are. Just the issue with them tends to be, yes, the reason the combat system is so developed is because that's going to be what you're doing a good chunk of the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they'll be like, hey, look, it's a nice combat system. And then it's like, oh, time to grind.
Yep, time to grind. And that's what got me stuck in Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade X for hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Same here. Like, I tried to beat a boss, but then I got... the one rare time I allow my chat to backseat, I'm like, okay, guys, can you help me with this? And they're like, just grind.
Grind.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, just grind and level. That's all they said.
Like, for me, it tends to be the most painful thing these days of just hearing the, yes, you want to get better? Grind and level.
Pretty much, grind and level.
Yep, it's part of why I stopped playing anything with too much vertical progression and just swapped to playing a bunch of stuff with horizontal progression instead. That way, you know, everything's roughly at the same power level the entire bloody time through. A smoother experience playing those kinds of games.
Oh, for sure.
In comparison, the moment I try to start a new JRPG, I'm like, oh god, no, we're back at the start again.
It's like back to the start, like a lot of lore stuff, and it's like, okay, story, cool, but then a bunch of side quests, and it's like, oh, you gotta do them before you continue on the game.
This was me picking up Persona 5 Royale recently.
Oh, that game's so good!
Because
also...
I completed the original... Well, not completed the original. I completed up to about the 2/3 of the way mark, and then Royale was announced, and I was like, it's like, yeah, I'm good. In fact, I think I've done that to 3 Persona games now. I did that to 3, I did that to 4, and I did that to 5, because each time it'd be like, either
like,
2/3 of the way or 3/4 of the way, then I'd either lose my save file or something other funky would happen, and I'd be like, okay, I'm good.
That's terrible luck.
Because for 3, I made it to like the final part of Tartarus, final dungeon, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break for a bit, lose the save file. Oh, I guess I'm never grinding that up again, because that was like 60, 70 hours. Yeah, okay. Persona 4 Golden, I straight up just lost my memory card for my Vita at some point. So I was like, screams.
Oh no! No! That's terrible! Losing save file is just pure...
It is many levels of pain. Many levels of pain. Then, yeah. And then, yeah, 5 Royal just got announced, came out, and I was like, you know what? You know what? I'm just gonna wait until this gets ported over to something I can actually play it on. Because I was logically going through Persona 5 on a PS3.
Oh!
Yeah.
It's okay. I actually used to play Persona 5 on the PS3 because I skipped the PS4 era at the time.
Yeah, because there's no actual difference apart from the loading times. That's it.
Yeah, it plays the same.
Yeah, it plays exactly the same. Visual fidelity exactly the same because it was built on the same engine for Catherine.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, all of the technology was there at the time. It just took a bloody long time to develop. Was all.
Wow. Wow, Atlas, wow.
Because yeah, Catherine was the testing ground for the particular art style and direction they wanted to go with for Persona 5. It's just, yeah, it took a bloody long time in the end.
That really does make a lot of sense, but at least the work paid off really well.
They managed to coincidentally make an esport out of it, but hi. Is what it is what it is.
Sports.
Yeah, people made esports out of Catherine. And then...
I am pretty surprised.
And then when they released Full Body, they introduced extra things into the multiplayer to make that particular scene more happy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know, it was apparently very popular in... It was very popular in Germany for some reason. Yeah.
Really, of all places, I'm surprised.
Yep. I don't know, people like the puzzle mechanics a ridiculous amount, and there were certain ways you could fuck over your opponent if you were both on the same bloody playing field, so yeah. It was an esport. For a while.
Man, Catherine, man!
I don't know, I've cleared Catherine once, and it was the original one, and I chose the, what was it?
One of the sea or...
Which one was the one with the sea again?
The blonde one.
I chose the ending with the blonde one, which ended up in hell a fair bit.
Oh, her ending! Oh, man!
Yeah, it was a, very special kind of ending, oh boy.
It was something that's like...
Straight up rolls over in bed, there's a devil over there as well. Well then, You see, Vincent kind of embraced a lot of debauchery.
Adultery ending, I see.
Yep. Anyhow. So what was the process like regarding your model? So straight from design, art, then rigging.
Then rigging? Okay, so, I actually did have an artist, for a good while to get a new model, but she was dealing with like health issues. So I tried emailing her again for an update to say like, oh, are you going to do the model or not? But then she ended up not emailing me for a good while until after my birthday. And then she finally emailed me and then only to reject me. Yeah, she was all like, yeah, I'm sorry, everything's been so stressful, and so I'm gonna have to decline you. And I'm like, okay. So I chose a different artist. Yeah, so looking for an artist was a little bit difficult, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so like I was like looking through artists and I saw Oyazuri-san, but then I saw another one too, so I was like debating which one to go with, but then Oyazuri was really quick with their responses, so I decided to go with them instead. And I'm like, oh, they're so pretty, and their arts, and they did a really amazing job with the model too. And then I worked on the rigging while working on like other chibi models and like another full body model at the same time.
I got put to a side project at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. Like this was like a side project, and With rigging, let's just say when it comes to physics, I have to spend an entire day doing physics or save a day for physics only because sometimes there are times where I'll rig but not even want to think about doing physics because of my attention span.
Fair
Because I'm
enough,
like, oh,
fair enough.
I want to do the body movement first, and then it's like, physics, but it's important.
Physics makes a lot of things look very nice.
They really do.
Mostly some very satisfying stuff here and there. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you told me that your artist was Oyozuli, I was like, oi.
Yeah.
It was kind of the, okay, how much of a denizen of Skeb are you at this point? Oi. That you grab one of the more famous Skeb artists out there.
Yeah, well, I didn't really. I haven't even skebbed them yet. Maybe I will in the future, but I'm like, what idea of skeb would I get?
But when I look at the price tag these days, I'm like, 55k.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, they're definitely. They rose their prices a lot compared to 2 years ago. I think a year and a half ago they didn't charge that much, but now they do, and I think they do skeb as like their livelihood now.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I snatched one from them for like 15k at the time. It was far lower. These days, it's just like, oh god, this guy's made it. This guy's definitely made it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like they made it, and then like, and it's funny because like that my like artist mama. My model mama is now known as like the skeb artist that a lot of down bad VTubers skeb for.
Oh yeah. Yep. Because I think you are the second VTuber now that I've seen with a particularly prolific skeb artist out there. Because the other one grabbed Sorani, actually.
Oh yeah, Sorani.
Sorani has a couple of VTuber kids out there now, I think it is. If not...
Yeah, I know one of them.
There's a couple of them here and there, and when I heard that, I was like, eh. Oh, they actually do VTuber models as well, goddamn. Alright.
Yeah, some skebbers are comfortable doing them, some aren't. I know I have a mutual that did try to ask one artist for like a model from them, and I think they responded saying that they weren't really confident or comfortable doing models at the moment.
Yeah, that happens from time to time. I remember when I was hunting around for a second artist at some point, it was just like, yeah, I'll try my luck with a couple of artists on the JP end and whatnot. Good chunk of them were either like, yeah, they've never done this kind of thing before, they wouldn't know what to charge for it, or they've never considered it, they're not sure what they need to do, etc, etc.
Yeah, like they're just like, how do we do models?
Yeah, one of them I tried to grab was straight up like, yeah, I'm busy for the entirety of the next year, so good luck.
Oh, yeah, there's some VTuber models, like especially on the JP side, like they'll be like, oh, we have we'll do deliveries in next year.
In the end, it just came down to original VTube mama opened up stuff. Well, may as well give it a shot. Get the application, fill it out. In my case, it was actually, I thought I got rejected on the application, and I followed up with them, and they were like, wait, what? We thought we sent you an email. I'm like, hey? Huh?
Eh?
And they're like, oh, check your spam mail. I look in spam, it's like the 5th message in there. I'm like,
oh, at least you got a message back from them.
Like, screams. Okay, here's the details, here's everything. Here we go. And that's why I am like this now.
Hey, let's go.
Unfortunately, it feels like because of how busy they are, I can only get one request through to them every year around February. Basically.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. They have been having a time. Anyhow. So what would you say was the most complex part to rig on your current model then?
The complex part? For me, it was surprisingly the horns and the hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like with the hair, it was just more like me like just struggling with like the movement of the hair and like, and I was like, how do I do this? How do I, like I'm like it was just more like me like trying to force myself to do the physics of the hair, but like my attention span wasn't letting me, and it was just an internal battle. While like with the horns, I was trying to make sure it didn't like do like that Paper Mario type turn.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't want Paper Mario turn. So like I had to like ask for feedback multiple times.
man, it is a shame what they've done to that series or that particular part of the franchise.
I'm sad about Paper Mario. Favorite
Yeah,
series, but it's not the same anymore.
no, it really isn't. Really hasn't been the same in the more modern entries. Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was probably the most complex thing I've done with my model. What else? Body was actually surprisingly easy. Oh, another complex thing was the pen tracking actually.
Pen
Yeah,
tracking.
pen tracking. Yeah, pen tracking. It's more so like it just more so follows the mouse for like tablet stuff, but where's the
Okay,
toggle?
okay.
Wait, no, that's not the toggle.
Oh god.
Wrong toggle. Yeah, yeah, this one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's because it tracks the mouse movement, but yeah, that took a while to do and figure out. And I'm like, ugh, because I had to like make sure like the sleeve follows up too, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, I can imagine. Hmm. Because yeah. Let's say pen tracking is easier to rig if you do it before angles. Ah, I see.
So I have to do that before angles. I needed I need to really save angles for last.
Mm-hmm. Anyhow. So throughout the last year, have you ever considered shifting to any other platforms apart from Twitch?
A part of me thought YouTube, but I'm still having considerations of like streaming on YouTube, but I'm just like I don't know where to start. Plus, the YouTube chat system isn't exactly the best.
Oh yeah, YouTube chat system. Not a fan of because they will filter stuff out without your knowledge entirely.
Yeah, and it's just so annoying.
Like yeah,
Like it's
someone will send something in chat and then suddenly you'll see nothing at all pop up later, and then
yeah,
vice
and like you'll
versa.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you'll see it too late, and it's like, uh-oh.
Because yeah, it feels like it's meant to support a bigger infrastructure, but not on the smaller end at all. So it becomes becomes quite awkward in that sense.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll like watch YouTube streams, like especially from like corporate VTubers, and then like I'll see like chat go like just kind of like going normal, and then sometimes I'll see it go zoom, and I'm like, yeah, that's definitely a delay for sure.
I think one of the funnier experiences I saw recently was just when the new Nijiwave went ahead and debuted, and you could probably tell that a couple of those chat boxes were not supposed to support the amount of volume of messages that were going through.
Oh yeah, it's just insane.
Yeah, a good chunk of those were either going too ridiculously fast or taking up so much computational power, things started lagging, and oh boy.
Big full-time lag for the code.
Yep.
Code, the chat, it was insane. That's why I'm just like, yeah, I probably won't stream on YouTube. So far, I've been only using YouTube for just like live 2D rig showcases or cover, which was like the only one cover I did in my entire life.
Let's see. Like for myself, I just shoved the interview VODs up there on YouTube. That's about it. Recently I got told to do some funky product placement for whatever reason for something. We'll see when that comes through in terms of editing. It involves me failing terribly at opening a bottle of ramen. Yes.
Bro.
Look, the plunge types can be absolutely miserable, okay?
How do you feel opening up a ramen bottle? You just use your weight.
Hi.
It's easy, your weight. Not your arm strength, but your weight.
I still managed to fail for an awkwardly long period of time.
Bro.
Huh? What do you mean it's good for them? Oi.
Oh man, I would love to see that actually.
Apart from that, I've had to put another cover in the works at some point. I got the art back for it in less than a day, which was horrifyingly speed. Definitely horrifyingly
nice,
speed.
nice.
Yep. As for the state of my throat, I had been sick for the past 2.5 weeks or so. I'd barely recovered.
No.
I'd barely recovered. So yeah,
no.
yeah, I'm gonna need to do some recording within either this week or the week after. Anyhow.
Yeah, do it when you feel better.
So for this next one, not intended as a philosophical question, always asked this philosophical question. Hi, what does content creation mean to you?
What does content creation mean to me? To me, content creation is pretty much putting your work out there. Like it doesn't have to be YouTube. I know like VTuber literally means virtual YouTuber. And if you really think about it, most VTubers don't really follow that entire meaning, but that's okay. Like I don't really follow it either, but like yeah, content creation is just putting your work out there, whether it be art, singing, video edits, streaming, stream clips, like that sort of thing.
Oh, all right. Very straightforward definition then. Very straightforward definition. In which case, let's go for a very funky definition. Go ahead and define what a VTuber is.
What a VTuber is? So literal translation of a VTuber is virtual YouTuber. So no one follows this entire thing at all because it's like, okay, like if we don't follow it, because a lot of people think, oh, it's a live 2D model, but not all VTubers are live 2D models. Some of them are PNG or just use a PNG because like having a model might be too much work for them or it's too expensive. When I first heard about VTubing, I thought it was, to be honest, I thought it was about 3D models, not live 2D.
That
was when I first got into it.
And when you look at it, there's Kizuna Ai, which was straight up just 3D.
Yeah, Kizuna Ai was like the first one, like pretty much first VTuber that I've like heard pretty much like almost everyone, and because of her and like several other VTubers, they were also like 3Ds, which made me think, oh, VTubers are 3D. And then one of my friends thought about being a VTuber, and she's also got a 3D model. I was like, yeah, I don't think I can afford that. And then my friends are like, no, you can be a VTuber. You can use live 2D or PNG. And I'm like,
I will say we've gotten to that point where getting a 3D is potentially cheaper than a live 2D at this point.
Yes, live 2D really has grown a lot.
Like, not even like a half-assed 3D or Vroid or anything. No, like a fully featured and everything 3D model. Retails far cheaper at this point than your standard live 2D.
Yeah, live 2D, like especially like the like rigging side of things is like their prices have really like gone up so much.
Yep.
They don't need to be.
Let's say the price at which people are charging rigging is the equivalent of a 6-figure salary.
Pretty much.
If they are working full-time and as efficiently as possible to deliver the rig, they are earning a 6-figure salary.
Pretty much.
Yep.
It is a lot of work, to be fair, but like I thought 3D models would be more expensive, to be honest, because maybe it's just kind of like with me with 3D, but 3D is like super overwhelming looking.
Let's say, okay, place your bets on how much you think a 3D model would cost at current.
2,000, 3,000?
In the realm of 1.5 to 2K for a fairly good quality one, reasonably usable, etc. It's just when it comes to the hardware requirements, you may need to splurge a bit more, depending on what kind of tracking you want.
Okay. So those. Okay, so it's probably the gear that's also costly or adding to the cost. While like, yeah, that's actually not bad for a 3D model price.
Like 3D is not bad at all, and with ways that 3D is able to work these days, you can even get away with 3D being How does one put it? You can even get away with 3D looking very 2D at the same time now.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like, let's see. Hold up a second here. Can I actually just pull this up easy enough? Because, yeah. The funny thing is I might be able to get myself tracked on 2 different things.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. In a simple nutshell... In a simple nutshell, 3D is a fair bit more affordable now. Getting a live 2D model is asking for almost 2.5k minimum these days if you want a full body.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like full body is especially like costly.
Yep. One downside about 3D, go on.
Find a designer first.
Oh, yeah. You do need to have a proper designer and all that.
Yeah, you do.
About one of those, you're likely just getting something either very generic or just not particularly stand out.
For sure. I know there's like live 2D that's like some people get like live 2D models like purchased from like Booth or like Booth, like that type of thing. To like kind of like just kind of have like a placeholder before like they think about having an actual model, or they just get adopt kind of thing.
Yeah, like there's plenty of stuff on Booth that goes at a very reasonable price even.
Pretty much, yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Device settings, etc. Turn off AR kit tracking. All right. Oh, this is still pretty reasonable. Okay. Yeah, like designs usually aren't too bad in terms of pricing and whatnot. It's just unless you're grabbing someone like ridiculously established, say the ones I grabbed, for instance, that one kind of costed an arm and a leg.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh wow. Yeah, so gear is like a bit on the costly side.
Let's see, gear, you can start as simple as just a webcam, even. You just won't have any of like the fancy functionality of 3D, so like any kind of hand tracking or... Let's see. You won't have the fancy functionality like any kind of hand tracking or any kind of like body tracking or anything. The most,
okay.
The most affordable you can get things though, by far, the most affordable you can get things is, let's see, most affordable you can get things is probably slime trackers eventually for VR, and those retail about $200, give or take.
Oh wow, slime tracker.
Yeah, they're kind of like a DIY kind of kit that you can mess around with. But yeah, this is going to look very funky because you are suddenly going to have 2 of me on screen. Slightly tracked a little bit different because one of them is being tracked by webcam and the other one's being tracked by still iPhone AR kit stuff. But yeah.
Okay, so that's how it works.
Yeah. Because if you want, you still can do AR kit for 3D as well, and it actually comes out pretty good. It's just that currently I have this one tracked by webcam, and my live 2D being tracked by AR kit. But hi. You can still get away with some reasonably nice looking stuff. Like this is 3D. It just is styled in a way that looks very 2D instead.
It's still so nice looking, like your 3D model.
There's a whole bunch of little extra features here and there that are in there, but most of them only come out to play when you actually have a VR setup. Because there's a whole functional deck of cards, even.
Ooh.
And that looked like spaghetti code when the guy showed it to me, but yeah, it works. But yeah. Apart from the fact that I don't have any hand tracking enabled at the moment, yeah, this is pretty solid. Funny thing,
so cute.
Funny thing is, there's a couple of odd toggles here and there. Yeah. Box ears and whatnot. Odd random expressions. Yeah. But 3D is still a reasonable and very affordable way of doing things. Sure, at this point.
I'll definitely have to do more research on 3D for sure. But I think with 3D, like all I can think of is like some VR games, VR chat, and Craftopia.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause
Craftopia.
you can use your like VTuber model for Craftopia.
Huh? Eh? Okay, that I haven't
Sorry.
heard of. Okay.
Yeah, you can use your like 3D VTuber models for Craftopia, not Live 2D.
Okay. Now that I might consider at some point looking into. That would be very funky.
Because a friend of mine played Craftopia like 2 years ago, and I'm like, ooh, that looks like a fun game. I've never played it, but then there was an update where you can add your like 3D model, like any 3D model to it. I think it was like there for fun, so that people can add like any other fictional like favorite like 3D waifus. But then you can also add your VTuber model there too.
Fair enough then. Fair enough. All right. I'll keep this on for a bit and then hi. Anyhow. Regarding your choice of games, why is it mainly RPGs and a good chunk of Nintendo stuff?
RPGs and main chunk of Nintendo. I think it was because there's like a lot that I need to beat. Plus, like I have friends that telling me, oh, you need to play this game, you need to play that game, you need to beat that game, kind of thing. That and I think there was an announcement where, like at the time, there was an announcement where like Xenoblade 3 got announced, and several of my friends were like, Rira, you gotta play Xenoblade. I only started with the second Xenoblade, but then because the first one was finally out on Switch, I was like, oh, I might as well play the first one then. But mainly Nintendo, because I've always been a huge fan of Nintendo since I was a kid, so I've always like followed Nintendo
All right.
for a good chunk amount of time. And with RPGs, I think it depends on the gameplay plus like just cute characters kind of thing.
That adds up. That adds up pretty much. Because yeah, for the longest time, I think leading all the way up to first year university, I was pretty much a Nintendo fanboy as well. It's just that I ran into one of those kinds of Nintendo fanboys, and that really hard put me off of things.
Oh no!
Because okay, my favorite franchise out of Nintendo stuff, or first party Nintendo, was Fire Emblem. And
oh god, the Fire Emblem fan base is a bit.
And yeah. So the thing was, I was on the side of liking Fire Emblem enough that I actually pre-ordered a copy of Fire Emblem Fates, the full collector's edition and all that.
Oh
Now, Fates was a terrible experience from a localization perspective. Like, absolutely god-awful, almost irredeemable. Kind of bad.
Yeah, when I was as a Fire Emblem fan, I was actually really upset over the localization. To the point where I'm glad that the person that translated the game doesn't work for Nintendo anymore.
Yeah, it was the Treehouse branch and whatnot, but yeah.
And they try to change things for the sake of memes, and it's like, yeah, please don't.
It was either, let's see, things were either memed, taken completely out of context, or given something so that the person would have quote-unquote, or the character would quote-unquote have a personality, rather than just being a anime trope.
Bro.
The thing is, the audience of Fire Emblem at that point would have rather had the anime trope. Like,
yeah.
They had a character which was meant to be like, you know, the cool kind of samurai dude, essentially. And
Yes.
what you got was pickles.
Don't remind me.
You had the dainty kind of girl in armor suddenly get turned into a gym jock.
She's not like that. Do you hear the difference between like her JP and AN voices? I'm like, no, it's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah. So that particular Fire Emblem, or that particular Nintendo fanboy, when I talked to them for the first time, they defended the shit out of Fates. the localization.
No.
They were like, oh yeah, I like this version of Effie better. I'm like, oh no, you fucking, oh god.
Oh no, don't you dare excuse my Nintendo fangirling, but no, Effie was ruined. Effie was full-time ruined.
Because the thing was, I liked the Fire Emblem series up to Radiant Dawn, pretty much. Awakening still gets a pass from me. It's okay, it revived the series. Fates was
Awakening, I can see what they did. Like the way they made it seem like it was the last game, and it was supposed to be the last Fire Emblem game until like it made a lot of money. Like
revived the damn franchise, yeah.
Yeah, but at least Three Houses kind of like made it better again.
Three Houses I stayed away from purely because of the fan base. No other reason.
Okay, yeah, the fan base is a bit scary. Do avoid it at all costs. But I will say this: Fire Emblem Three Houses is also really fucking long. Think of it as like Fates, but like all 3 of those games into one game.
Ah. Oh, okay.
Yes, all 3 routes in one game.
So with Fates, I completed Birthright and Conquest. I never bothered with the third one because I was like, this is just so terribly designed that I would rather spare myself entirely.
The third one, I'm just like, wow, okay.
Like, the thing was, at most for the third route, you get the fun of messing around with the potential support relations between the 2 different sides. The only issue is it's the localization version.
Yeah, but localized is just
Localized was so freaking bad. When I finally got around to like getting custom firmware for 3DS and all that and messing around with that, I was like, first thing I'm doing, I am putting the Japanese dub back in.
Yes.
Playing through whatever I have left, and then giving up on the game.
That reminds me, like, I think because of like the Fire Emblem Fates, like because people were so mad at the localization to the point where they ended up making like the original translation first and make it in a patch. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, that was a thing at one point where people were just like, no. Here's the original translation patch, and here is the original Japanese audio and all that. Also, we are going to help you put things back in place in terms of a funky little petting mini game.
So cute though. It's just skinship though.
That was actually my first exposure to any kind of live 2D. That whole thing.
Like
Yeah,
that was like the first thing I've seen in live 2D, and then when the game came out in Japan, like people were like ripping the live 2D files from the game and like making an actual like live 2D like pet on your PC.
Oh yeah. No, I actually did that with the files at one point.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing was, when you ripped the files out and tried to put them back in for the English version and all that, you'd run into one problem. One very specific, very horrifying problem. You only did that, you would end up with terrible lip syncing problems.
Oh yeah.
So what you would have to do is you would then have to go through the files of the Japanese version, find the folder that keeps all the lip syncing data, and copy that over as well.
Oh man.
I went through the extra effort. I'm just like, they didn't include these in the patch instructions. I guess I went the extra mile for that, huh?
You went in too deep.
That era was a kinda terrible time for first-party Nintendo in terms of localization. But then the second one that got me really bad was Xenoblade X.
Oh, wait, their translation wasn't very good?
More so the acting wasn't particularly great.
Oh.
So, you know how most of the Xenoblade games kind of take the whole, yes, we are the British Isles. Let us have your Londoners, add some random Cockney in there, throw in the Aussies, Irish, whatever. Yeah, for Xenoblade X, the thing is, the ship that crashes down on the planet Mira is American. Yeah.
Bro, so they're all just I never played X, but they're all Americans?
Yep, they're all Americans.
Oh, I know Xenoblade 3 has like they have a few Americans, while like a good chunk are like from the UK.
Uh-huh. Like at this point, any voices out of the UK is pretty much what you get for fantasy. This was more or less established all the way back in the early 2000s with Lord of the Rings even.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. How does one put it? When you hear someone speaking like native Welsh, that's what people think Elvish is supposed to sound like.
Eh?
Yeah. When you hear someone using Welsh in conversation, that's what people would assume that Elvish is supposed to sound like.
I don't. I've only heard Welsh once, and I'm like, I don't think that's really Elvish, really.
I'll pull up some example at some point and ship it over to you. But yeah.
Right.
It gets quite wild how funky some of that can sound.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Fire Emblem, when it comes to it, the part of the fan base I like is honestly the slightly more elitist side of things, rather than the very coddly side of things, which is anime waifus and all that.
Oh yeah, the elitist side.
Because the part I liked about Fire Emblem was it was like epic, or the earlier ones at least, it was like epic fantasy or like very heavy character-driven drama, essentially.
Yeah, that it was like very character drama driven, and
Yeah.
all I can say is
with the new ones, yeah.
the one FE4. Oh god. I can't wait for that to get translated and localized and remade.
Yep.
I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Oh, the elitists are gonna be all over that one. Oh god.
There's gonna be a huge literal Fire Emblem style war with a remake of Fire Emblem 4.
Yep. Like, there are so many people that defend Genealogy to hell and back because it is still the game to this day where they're dragging mechanics from.
Yeah, it's like where the marriage and then like the kids happening, like
yep.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
Yeah, the generation split. The whole everyone trying to pick out archetypes and everything, that all started back there.
Oh yeah.
And then on top of that, let's see. The part I hate about the fanbase is when it came to free houses, they immediately just turned everything into waifu bait or material, and I'm just like, motherfucker, these are your fucking students, mate. There's been worse in the past with Awakening and Fates, where you're literally going after someone else's kids, but still.
Yeah.
Still, these are your bloody students, mate.
Fates is even worse about it.
Fates is worse about it because everyone is a negligent parent that leaves their kid in a pocket dimension for what feels like 15 years of their life or something like that. Come back, fishes them back out.
Can the main character be with the kids?
Pretty sure they can be in Fates, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro, you literally saw them as babies. Why do you want to get together with them? Why?
Yeah. Like in Awakening, it was kind of played for laughs at first, because it's like, yeah, Lucina is actually like, Crom's daughter. Huh. It's like,
okay. Plus, they have, even though cliche, it's a reasonable reason.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. You do you. Crom probably staring daggers into the main character's back. Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. You saved Crom's ass, mate. You can grab something, right? Right? Fates. Yes. Child. Pocket dimension.
Also, how long did it take for them to get married and then have the kid? And then I'm like, were you literally just standing there for like 9 months in the middle of a fucking war? And this happens.
Like, it makes it out to be like less than a week or something, and I'm just like, no, God, no.
It makes more sense in Awakening, even if it's like cliche as hell.
Cliche is just like, yeah, time travel. Yeah,
Yeah, time travel, but at least it's more logical.
It's far more logical, yet here we go with... here we go with Fates just being like, yes, clearly the conflict you're having between, what was it, Hoshiro and Nor is supposed to last like several decades, right? Right.
Yeah. Is it supposed to last that long? Wouldn't there be a time skip by now?
I'm pretty sure with the way that Conquest is written, it's kind of like you're the Germans blitzkrieging through Russia, basically. So you are
God.
meant to be blasting through there in less than a couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure.
Bro.
So it's like, oof, they hamstringed it along with a lot of plot conveniences.
God damn it, Fire Emblem Fates.
Like, gameplay in Fates was some of the best. But
Yeah, the gameplay's good. It's just the logic and story is like, bro, what?
just screams. So much screaming. As for a fanbase I actually respect out of first-party Nintendo, it's actually the Xenoblade one.
Okay, yeah, the Xenoblade fanbase is quite nice, although like I've seen some of the funnier parts from Xenoblade 2 fanbase.
Yeah, I usually mean just the Chronicles one for the 2 and beyond. I stay away from those.
Ah. Okay, I know, like I was like, because one of my friends like draws like Xenoblade art, but like I saw like there's like this one funny guy who's like huge part of the Xenoblade community, but like people were like talking about his likes, and I was like, okay, what was in his likes? And I was like, oh,
Yeah, bet.
yeah, it was 本当にやべえ. And I'm like, I see, so I guess Xenoblade fans swing that way too, I guess. But the first game is really good.
Yeah, the first game, to this day on the forums, there are still people that, or on like Reddit and whatnot, there are still people that refer to the final party member you get as 7 instead of spoiling straight up who it is.
Oh, that's actually a good thing that they just say like 7.
Yeah, they just straight up call her 7 instead, and it's like, goddamn, people still do that? Huh.
I think they do that because I think if people have no idea about the first Xenoblade, yeah, that one moment was really shocking.
Yeah, it's still like I
Even
said,
if it's early.
that one scene halfway through the game, that is still my favorite by far.
Yeah, I was suffering.
Like I've gone back just to see that scene like at least a half dozen times. It's just like, it's that good. It's that good.
I was shocked, suffering, and I'm like, bro.
Oh, right. The funniest thing about the remake of Xenoblade Chronicles is you can finally see what the actual facial expressions are supposed to be.
Yeah, I heard that in the original one, the facial expression graphics were a little bit kind of.
They were possible. You got most of the emotion from the voice acting instead. The voice acting was freaking good.
So amazing.
Yeah. And then now you get it. You see the facial expressions for a few of them, like, oh man, they really JRPG'd this up. This feels like I'm looking at Final Fantasy all of a sudden for some reason, huh?
I mean, to be fair, Xenoblade Chronicles was made by like former team of like Final Fantasy, like older games.
Very much. Also, hi. Go ahead and hydrate. If you've got anything lying around.
Oh yeah, I should probably hydrate for sure.
Come on. I got handed a mug that is pretty much a cat mug.
Cat mug, cute.
She said not to go any further about something because I would have described what the behind of this cat mug looks like, but don't worry about it.
I see.
Uh-huh.
I have a feeling.
Present from 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, like, I'm so tempted to describe what the behind of this looks like, but don't worry about it. Anyhow. For this next one, I think you might have been one of the first people I asked about this, specifically even. Hey. So, what are your current thoughts on the indie VTuber scene?
my current thoughts about the indie VTuber scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely changed a lot. A lot of people that like started from like the baby boom or the VTuber baby boom section, which was like late 2020, like a good chunk of them like either graduated, left, or just moved on or rebranded.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's a lot of rebrands out there.
So many rebrands, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there'll be like multiple rebrands at once, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, wait, who are you again? I get confused, especially when they suddenly change like their tag, and I'm like, wait, who? And then I have to like take a closer look, and I'm like, oh, it's you.
Oh, then you get graduation straight into corporate.
Oh God, the amount of times I've seen. At this point, I'm like, you know what? There's really no point in doing a graduation stream. Just say like you quit VTubing, or you're just gonna like not be VTube for a while. Because if you say you're graduating, we're all gonna think you're gonna be in corporate. It's so obvious at this point.
Like, for me, I've seen some people do graduation streams and kind of just either no one rocks up or they just very quietly fizzle out. And some of those are the most depressing ones because it's just like, this person kind of just held a pity party for themselves and left.
Pretty much.
What are your thoughts towards graduation streams then, in which case? Are they worthwhile doing? Do you think they should just be completely passed on? Or is there some kind of merit there?
I think with the graduation streams, it's kind of like last time to spend time with each other before like they're gone for good kind of thing. That's usually how I see it. Especially, though some people for some reason like put like indefinite hiatus and graduation at the same time, even though it's like not really the same. Indefinite hiatus means there's a chance you might come back, but it's not gonna be long time.
Mm-hmm.
While like I've seen people graduate, but like they still like normally talk on Twitter, but they just don't like stream anymore. Or like sometimes they'll do like streams, but extremely rare occasions. Yeah, I've seen that happen, and I'm like, okay, but at the same time, it's like,
Like, I've seen people go on indefinite hiatus and then, like, they'll pretty much just keep rocking up in everyone else's stream and then just not stream themselves, and that's it.
Yeah, I've seen it happen, which is okay. Because it's of course like sometimes like life gets in the way, and it's like that's okay. Then like of course like the VTubing like baby boom kind of happened due to like just because it's literally because of COVID.
And now COVID is lifting its curtains, pretty much.
Yeah, so like some people are starting to move on. Some people have already found jobs and are like, oh, I think I figured out what to do now in my life.
Also,
that kind of thing. But then also there's like another change is that like people are saying it's harder to talk to or it's hard to make friends or talk to other VTubers now lately.
Yeah. How so?
I think it's like due to like certain like big instances of like drama that kind of blew up to the point where it make people kind of too scared to talk to other people again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some drama, some like really bad like incidents.
Let's say. So, when it comes to drama and incidents and all that, I'll be honest, a good chunk of people, the drama that happens in this community is very freaking petty. Like,
it's so petty. Like I'll see it and I'm just like, I'm just gonna close Twitter for now.
Like, the way I put it is, people in this community are kids. A good chunk of the time. Like, come on. Did they?
Like they're like high schoolers.
Like someone just like, please just grow up, please.
Yeah, like a good chunk of VTubers, like we're all supposed to be adults here. Like there's like it's like a nice space where there's like there are minors, but like very little. But now it's like, guys, why are you acting really immature?
Yeah, like it's why I've taken my hands away from certain people and just been like, okay, I clearly know what you've done. I know that you are likely not going to grow up. Therefore, goodbye. See you around.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the ones where... Okay, so I actually heard a pretty funny story when I went ahead and took a look at someone that I hadn't taken a look at in maybe 5 years, actually.
Oh.
So the case of this was a not very well known Let's Player named Markiplier. Oh yes, that guy.
Oh! I haven't watched that guy or heard from him for years. I just have a friend who just likes watching his one series that got ended.
Now, the funny thing was, he went to a certain awards show and all that. And, like, anyone in, like, corporate media and all that pretty much tried to shun YouTubers and all that.
Oh.
And pretend that, oh, yeah, you don't exist, you don't rival us or anything. Yeah. And then, on the other hand, there were a whole bunch of other young content creators, which were very, inexperienced in networking. And have you ever seen that scene in Finding Nemo where there's a whole bunch of seagulls?
Yeah.
That, but around random celebrities, and a good chunk of them are TikTokers.
God.
Not necessarily like crowded Mark. Mark just witnessed crowding of some other fellas here and there. But yeah.
Oh man.
It's just that, look, when you're out to network, normally it's a mutual interest kind of affair. When you're out for clout, normally that's self-serving, and that's when people get pissed. The thing is with the way VTubing's gone, there is so much just hyping up things and trying to chase clout that I'm just like, so does anyone actually care about the quality anymore? Does anyone care what you are actually going to do when you have the numbers? Do you actually know what you're going to do when you have the numbers?
They just care about clout and and like following trends kind of thing.
Yeah, like
this part hasn't changed.
Yeah, this part just hasn't changed. It's still very childish because at the end of the day, what do you do with those numbers?
Exactly.
I am this close to naming names and throwing a certain cunt under the bus, but
you can DM me. You can just DM me it.
I will leave that in DMs because
just DM me. I won't say anything.
Because that guy was pretty much a clout farming machine, and then when I see what his actual content is, either the fact that it's non-existent, the guy rants on Twitter, or just garbage. Honestly, insubstantial fucking garbage. And I'm just like, but why did you bother raising numbers to begin with? Like,
bro,
do you have something you want to show the people? No. Well, kindly fuck off, please.
They just really want the short-term clout hype thing.
Can you eat clout? No, not really. Can you eat content that you have made for such a large audience? Yes.
I like content, not clout. Content's tastier.
Yes, content's a lot tastier. So that's the thing I have with the indie bunch. It's very short-sighted most of the time. Like people prefer their instant gratification rather than their long-term planning and all that, and that's fucking maddening a good chunk of the time.
It really is, and I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, where's the content?
Like consistency is key. And
like even like clips you personally like, that's good content. That's content that I'll pick up.
Like, let's say, in your case, I'd say you are one of the more consistent people out there in a certain way. Now, you know the funniest thing I find is very consistent with you, actually?
Oh, what's consistent?
Let's see. So when you stream very consistently. You also very consistently go on hiatus from time to time.
Yeah. This year has been really bad for that, dude. Okay, this year was like, my life was like being sporadic, and I'm like, come on, I just want to stream for fun. And it's like, nope, you gotta take a break, gotta take a rest. that type of thing. And I was this year, and after I debuted it, I was like, okay, I am gonna no longer go on hiatus. And then the move thing happened. And I'm like, fuck.
Sorry, I did have to pull that one because it's like anytime I saw an announcement from your Discord, it was either you were about to stream something or you were going on hiatus for the next month.
That was so bad. I'm just like, get me out of this hiatus shit, please.
Anyhow. Hello, Haywan. Hello, Haywan. Anyhow. Hi. When it comes to indie lot, too many people act as children. There's a lack of consistency. Hype and clout way too prevalent. I think the worst case I find is just everyone cuddling up to Niji.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I probably won't go further on that outside of DMs, because holy shit. Don't mind it for now. Don't mind it for now.
All I can say is I just don't really have much to say.
Going down.
Anyhow, go on.
But yeah, like even even if I do like go on hiatus for a little bit, like I do try to crawl myself back because I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep doing this. I need to stop. I need to stop going on these constant breaks, that kind of thing.
During November, I would have normally spent the entire time streaming and writing out a novel and all that. It's just that eventually I figured rushing a novel like that is a terrible idea. Instead, instead I treated it as, treated it as more of a break from interviews and whatnot, and just coming back fresh after being away from them for a month and whatnot.
Ah, okay.
Because I'll be honest, I kind of got sick of interviewing just random VTuber A, random VTuber B, especially when none of them had too much substantial stuff. Like,
okay, that makes sense.
Like, I won't name names right now. It's just some people are very insufferable to speak with after the surface level. And when you have that surface level repeated to you ad nauseum, and then they mention their ambitions is to either get into Niji or some other corporation, and you want to be polite, so you don't exactly gently let them down or anything. You just kind of give them the oh that's cool, okay. And then behind you're just like, yeah, I am sorry, you are probably not going to make it, but
yeah, I feel like you might need to do a lot of research for that, to be honest.
Yep. When it comes to it, I normally look at people which feel like some kind of linchpin for an interview. Or just something that's been stable and there for a reason. Normally the interview is then picking apart why they're there. Why they're that kind of linchpin. For a couple of them, it just came down to, okay, they're just a person that chats a lot. Or chats a lot in other people's streams, but their own streams themselves are a bit insubstantial.
Oh, that type of content. I see.
So it turns into, okay, they're not very substantial on their own, but as an umbrella within the community, people know them, people appreciate the fact that they're there and propping up the rest of things. And, that's got its own place. Sure. It's just that that's closer to more like a staffing role than it is like front and center being in the spotlight. And not everyone can necessarily be a talent. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, it can get. Yeah, usually, to be a talent, it's a lot of hard work.
Because one of the biggest things I find for talent is they need to have a very certain kind of appeal. They need to grab a certain kind of audience, or they need to be willing to work their way up to that point where they have people's eyes on them. In which case, I may as well throw out this question here. What do you find is your audience appeal then?
Oh, my audience? I think my audience appeal, like, from the looks of things after, like, observing my community, I have noticed that my community is they're either uni students, working people, or, yeah, pretty much just mostly just working people, and they, and usually, like, how I make my streams is just like, okay, just come here to vibe while I play this game, that type of thing, and then sometimes I'll talk about things, really.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
And I think with drawing streams, I think I've inspired a few people to draw, which is nice to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm like, if you guys are drawing, show me your art too, please. That kind of thing.
Gotcha. Because I'll say when it comes to it, as long as you're carving out your own kind of space, that's good. And the way that you've just laid things out there, yeah, you've taken much more notice than a good chunk of people out there. Because if I get one more time the person that comes on says that, yes, our audience likes to have a bit of fun, and everyone's just degenerates or horny as fuck, then yeah. It's kind of
usually when it comes to when it usually comes to that type of side of things, like degenerates are horny as fuck. Usually it's usually just like, hey, check out this caught character from a game, basically.
I will say the amount of times that I've come into a stream and then immediately been pinged by you, Kohaku, that you've done something a little questionable. I think I can count at least 5 or 6 times that's happened.
Oh god. That usually comes from me like thirsting over a character or something, or me being drunk.
Very notable when drunk, Now combine the two and hi. Combine the two and maybe throw an Otome game in your direction and see what happens.
Wait, what about an Otome game?
Let's see, combined you being ridiculously drunk, thirsting over hot characters, and tossing an Otome game in your face. And we'll see what happens sometime.
One day. You know what? That's a good idea, actually. Drunk Ultimate Game stream, let's go! Actually, I don't even know if I'll be able to read the words while I'm drunk.
Oh boy.
Will I be able to read?
For that, I'll say pick one that is a bit more of a lower common denominator than something that is story heavy, so to speak. Hi, drunk Otome collab. Oh god. Because, you know, let's see, did you read the Catboys Nekoparo one when that came out?
Oh, I never actually read it or played it, surprisingly.
Oh.
I think I saw a friend play it, but now I'm like, I kind of forgot what happened.
Oh, well, yeah, there's a very easy lowest common denominator one.
I was thinking probably that or Hot Level Boyfriend.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I should play Hot Level Boyfriend while I'm drunk.
That would be a trip. That would be a fucking trip. Birds.
Should I do it? Bet?
Yeah, we'll see. Alright. In which case, I'll throw this one out. So, how much community interaction do you make use of off-stream? So, how much do you chat with your audience or any viewers off-stream?
Off-stream? Not very often. Like, I think there are times where, like, my Discord has been, like, dead, but, like, it has been starting to get a little bit more chatty, just a little bit, and all we do is just talk about food. Yeah, we mostly talk about food, sometimes about art, occasionally about our days, like, that kind of thing. Yeah, rarely about our days, but, like, usually it's just, we just talk about food and art and occasional anime and game talk, that kind of thing.
That works out fine, honestly. Just a bit to give back here and there. Yeah, that works.
And all I can say is some of my community are really good cooks. Really good cooks. Some of them are massive foodies. I think a good chunk of my community are a bunch of foodies. Like they all love food, but I love food too, so it makes sense.
All right. It works out completely fine then. In which case, Now let's see. This next question. You were one of the ones which managed to establish like the 3 common answers to this bloody thing. So, well, at least two of the more common answers out of the 3 for this particular question. So currently then, what are your goals for the future?
My goals for the future? I'd say it's probably still like the similar type of goals that I have for like my from the goals I mentioned on my re-debut, which is like actually learn Japanese and Korean, which I am so very, very like I need to stop getting lazy about it. But by playing, but by trying to learn Japanese, I'm trying to like play a game all in Japanese, like Pokemon Aka.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brain melted so much, and it doesn't help the fact that like my gaming battery is fairly low, so I can only like last an hour and a half doing that. And with Korean, I still need to study with that too a bit better. But now like there's like several people like. Okay, so early this year, I was told by a couple people from my community, "Hey Rira, you should learn Cantonese," and I'm like, "Eh."
Huh? Eh?
Yeah, Cantonese, and now I'm like, I kind of am interested in learning Cantonese, but apparently it's like really hard to now.
I will just say I hear too much Cantonese at work. Way too much Cantonese at work.
Yeah, I should eventually learn it, but I still haven't like learned how to read the language yet.
Oh yeah, that part is also several levels of misery. Several levels of misery.
Yeah, definitely. Like learning Chinese is probably one of my few goals. Another one is just like get better at art, live 2D rigging, and maybe pixel art because I have taken interest in pixel art also.
Pixel art's bloody hard. Pixel art's hard.
Yeah, it is hard, but the end result's so satisfying.
I will say trying to reach up like one more color depth from where I currently am is just misery. Because it's just like,
no.
It's like, yes, currently I'm just doing two-tone shading. What happens if I try what happens if I try 4 tones? Oh god, no, oh Jesus.
Oh my.
Yeah. The sprite size I currently work with is 32 by 32. One up from there is 64 by 64, and that means you actually have to know shading and a lot of color theory.
Yeah, shading, color theory, plus like size. You have to draw really small with pixel art.
Oh, small stuff's not too bad. Like, you just need to be efficient. Or a lot more efficient.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I also kind of compare pixel art to design also.
That's it. When you do 32 by 32, you can get away with a face that's about 4 pixels. 6 to 8 pixels, maybe. When you move up from there, yeah. Then it becomes a face more the size of 24 or 28 pixels beyond that. And you end up having to put in a proper nose, proper ears, even the whites of eyes when you get to that size. Because if you just do dots, it doesn't look right anymore.
Oh, definitely.
So at 32 by 32, you can still get away with like 2 dots to represent an eye. 64 by 64, no, you've actually got to start detailing things in. And anything larger than that, and you've got to start thinking more high resolution with just jagged lines.
Man. That just makes me think of a couple RPG Maker games for that.
Yeah. Like if you want a decent place to start, just look into the GBA Fire Emblem games for pixel art. And any of those ones tend to have very good examples of what you can do at a 32 by 32. Then if you want to look at something that's more 64 by 64, you might want to look at Stardew Valley instead.
Oh, definitely.
You can see the clear difference in fidelity.
Yeah, because Fire Emblem GBA, because like of course they have to like work with a small screen, and then 64 it's like bigger screen but aesthetic.
Yep, a heck of a lot of a difference. But yeah, if your goals at current are just languages, it's a very, very, very far cry from what you had before then. In which case, if I recall, since you were one of the ones that established things, I believe you either mentioned wanting to do ASMR or mentioned wanting to do a re-debut at some point.
I did an ASMR once, and I got so deadly embarrassed I don't want to do it again. That and ASMR is fucking hard. I don't know why people say it's easy, or some people are like, oh, if you want easy cloud, do ASMR. No, fuck no. It is not easy at all. I was like so deadly embarrassed.
Because yeah, people think ASMR is just, getting close to the mic and doing this kind of funky shit, but nah. Nah. You actually got to know proper proximity, distancing, etc.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Because like everyone's like, oh yeah, just buy a 2DO or 3DO mic, and you know you'll be able to do ASMR, right? Right?
I have mutuals that are ASMR artists, and a couple of them said that you shouldn't buy like a 3DO mic on the spot. You should actually start with something smaller, like a Blue Yeti or something.
Like personally, what I would do if I were ever in that sphere is I would hook up a stereo pair and just use 2 different microphones.
Oh, I think that works too.
Because in the audio engineering field, as long as you know what you're doing, you can take 2 identical microphones, position them in a certain way where they don't fuck up the phasing, flip the phase if you actually need to, and then just pan them. And problem solved. You have one microphone that represents the left, one microphone that represents the right. They don't overlap in a certain awkward way. And yeah, now you have your ASMR setup, so you can reasonably do that with actually any microphone whatsoever, as long as you have 2 of them.
Oh, okay. So that's how one does one for ASMR in a more like costly manner.
Either more costly, potentially cheaper.
Like cost-saving.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's a lot cheaper in some cases. Yeah. Like, if I really wanted to go a bit ham, then I'd be taking another one of the current mic that I have, which is an AT2020, shoving that next to another AT2020, and then just routing those accordingly so that one is in the left, one is in the right, and then just manipulate the space accordingly.
I see. But yeah, I don't want to do an ASMR stream ever again. I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. No thanks.
I personally spare myself doing any kind of that entirely for the most part. Like I might put it in the title as like a meme, but that's it.
If people want proper ASMR from me, it'll be me cracking my bones.
Oh boy.
Cracking, like stretching, and then like I crack a joint or something.
The thing I end up cracking the most these days is just randomly knuckles while dealing.
Like you know, like when
yeah.
But sometimes I'll like stretch from time to time on stream, and then I'll crack my back, and I'm like, ah, yes.
Yeah. Aside from that, there was just the goal of doing a re-debut at some point, and well, here you are.
Yep, here we are.
But yeah, 3 most common that were established very early in the VTuber boom and all that was simply just, yes, I want to hit partner. Yes, I want to do a re-debut. And yes, I want to do ASMR. Yeah.
Hitting partner, the more I look into partner, the more I'm just like, I don't know if there's much point for it other than marketing.
Partner is pretty much saying, yes, you are now part-time working for Twitch. That is pretty much how I see partner.
I I'm proud for people that got partner, but like the more I look into it, I'm just like, I don't think there's a reason for me to get it.
Fair enough.
I think about it, so I'm just like, I'm not gonna try to overwork myself to even get partner. It's just, yeah. All I can say is, if it happens, it happens. But I'm not gonna push for it. Several people, I know, like a lot of people pushed for it, and I remember someone saying they did a partner push before, and they say they don't recommend it at all to anyone.
Yeah, most people after having done them really don't recommend them afterwards.
Yeah, they actually really burn themselves out.
Alright. With that question out of the way, let me just reposition us, and then I will take out a deck of cards, pretty much. Or 2 decks of cards, rather.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see. Actually, better question. When's the last time you played Blackjack, rather?
Blackjack, it's been a while, a very long while, but...
Let's say longer than poker or shorter than poker?
Probably longer than poker.
Okay. Well, we'll figure poker then. So this one's going to be a bit experimental. I'm not necessarily trained to deal poker or blackjack. I'm just a lot more familiar with blackjack, so to speak, but may as well familiarize myself with poker as well. Alright. One sec, I've got to move my keyboard out of the way, among other things.
No worries, take your time.
Okay, if you were more familiar with poker, I'd have probably gotten you to do Omaha rules, which is slightly different, a lot more action-based or action-packed. For this current rule set, we'll just go with Texas Hold'em, but it'll be Texas Hold'em Minors. So how this works instead is you'll get 2 cards face up. You'll then have to play on the river versus my cards.
Okay.
There's no complicated mind games or anything involved. Normally how this works out in the casino is it's just a single dealer that does it and you get paid 1-to-1 odds, apart from a couple of other things here and there.
Hmm.
And yes, Kurikona, that is a half-built master grade Zazabi sitting over there. Hi. But yeah. I'll just show you the traditional shuffle that you end up having to do. Normally you do this with like 4 decks of cards or 8 decks of cards, but yeah. That pinwheel into whatever the heck this was is a shemi shuffle. This is normally followed up by what's called Shuffle E, which is splitting this into 4 different packs, A, B, C, and D, and shuffling them or rippling them all into pack E. So yeah. Nothing all too fancy. It just shuffles the cards good enough.
Okay. Wow, your card shuffling looks really nice.
Like, my shuffling cards, okay. I'm not, like, insanely good at it, like some of the other poker dealers that we have sitting around.
It's just so smooth.
Like, to me, I'm a Baccarat dealer, so I realistically only have to really shuffle, like, once every 3 months when something fucks up.
Oh.
It's just that I make sure that I have the practice just in case, so that process doesn't take like half a fucking hour.
I see.
Because if something goes wrong with either the mechanical shuffler or any kind of manual shuffler, you then have to count out every single card in a deck, and that is 52 cards 8 times.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
So it's like 416 cards that you have to count out individually and make sure they're all there. And then you have to start that shuffling process I showed earlier, but with 8 decks instead. So you'll now not necessarily be shuffling like 52 cards, you'll be shuffling that 416 manually. And that whole process takes anywhere between 20 minutes, half an hour.
Oh my god, that's an insane amount of shuffling.
Yeah. Let's hold it over just a bit. I'll move us down a little as well. So the only thing they'll see from us is just our heads. Alright, let's see. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna need to refresh on the basics of poker as well, so don't mind me. 1 card to you, 1 card to me, 1 card to you, 1 card to me.
No worries.
The ones out front, or in this corner where my hand is currently, these ones will be your cards. These ones down here will be mine. And the rest of the ones that will be laid out here will just be the river.
Okay.
Okay, in your case, you have a queen, 2 of clovers. A queen of spades, 2 of clovers. I have an 8 and 2 of diamonds. Okay, let's see how much worse this is going to become for either of us. River, jack, spades. 5 clovers. 7 diamonds. I don't think that one currently benefits either of us. By any margin. If anything, that leaves you in front, actually.
Yeah, just normal front, nothing.
Yeah, that gives you just queen high. Which means you're currently winning.
Oh.
Okay, 3 diamonds. Nope, don't think that benefits either of us either. And last one then. Four spades. Doesn't benefit either of us once again. That's your win.
Oh, I think. Oh my god, nice.
Yeah, simple as that. Alright. I have this
I think
bag
the-
over here.
I think it was also because of the queen and the jack.
Yeah. Queen and Jack doesn't necessarily add anything on its own. If it managed to count up with a 10 as well, then that would have been a lot nicer. But yeah. Alright. What's the worst that could happen? Because this one is... okay. So this particular piece of paper over here, you probably can't read it, but it simply reads as pilk. This is the second time I've lost this particular one now. So...
Oh shit!
So within the next year, I need to drink 2 glasses of pilk.
Fingers party.
Eh?
Fingers party.
Yeah. Oh god. Anyhow. You know what? Since the dealing methods for blackjack and this aren't too different, we can actually just flip between the two games pretty quickly.
Oh, okay.
So we'll alternate between rounds. This next one will deal blackjack. So quite simple. Try to hit 21. Go over 21, you lose.
Okay, so 21, but make sure you don't go over 21.
Okay. Dealing cards. Player 18. Dealer Jack. Would you like to hit or stand?
Hit.
Are you sure about that? Almost 90% of cards will make you bust and lose instantly.
You know what? Let's go. Let's hit it.
Hit. Okay. 21. Fuck. Okay. Dealer 19. I lose. Okay. Hit.
Nice. Nice.
What the fuck? Why?
How was this RNG?
I have managed to lose twice now. Alright. What's this one? Okay, this one simply reads as tarot reading. Okay. Well, for this one, quite simple. I just deal out 3 tarot cards. Okay, ask a question. Any question whatsoever.
Ask a question.
Yep. Any question whatsoever for a reading.
Did you pick another artist for a scab?
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I can't really think of a question. That's all I can think of is like, did you pick another artist for a scab or something?
Okay, let's see. Did I pick another artist for a scab? We're about to find out then. First one is the Hermit in the reverse position. Second one is Temperance in the upright position. And third one is the Tower in the upright position. Now, how you would read this traditionally is past, present, and future.
Okay.
Now, in the past, Hermit in the upright position, which pretty much means, yes, I would have been very public about picking artists out for scab and whatnot. And I was somewhat here and there. I would mention it to a couple of friends if I managed to scab an artist they accepted, and then, yeah. Here and there, see what comes down the line. 90% of the stuff I've scabbed in recent is all lewds. Anyway. Next one is Temperance. This is keeping the status quo, so yes, I've been very blatant on the kind of things that I have scabbed. They are out there. There is an entire thread sitting there. There are 2 of them that I have yet to post still. And I held off because, hi, I just put out an interview announcement and I'm not going to suddenly drop lewds right after that. Hi. Hi.
It's fine. It's fine.
'Cause one of them is straight up like a 50-second video that is fully voice acted. I have many questions for that particular artist, like why the hell did they bother going full detail? And second, where the hell did they get this random voice actress from? Because the thing is, they commission random small indie voice actresses on Twitter just for the voice and sound effects for this kind of stuff. So I have many questions. This last one is the Tower in the upright position. Now, the Tower represents disaster. So if I keep up with this current status quo of commissioning artists and putting them out very publicly, Disaster will strike. That's pretty much what this reading more or less falls down to. So, the initial question, did I scab another artist? There's a very good chance.
A very high chance you did.
I am going to block you from Kevin.
In reality, I haven't picked one out yet. I was still in the middle of filtering out a couple here and there. Hi. But yeah, that's the reading. Simple and straightforward.
None of the scabs are innocent.
Yeah. Hi. None of them are particularly innocent these days. I don't know, it's more fun when they're allowed to get creative in that kind of way. Good chunk of the time.
Hi.
You know, a good chunk of the time when you get fan art for yourself, a good chunk of the time the only person who's really going to enjoy fan art to the fullest is yourself, the person. It's kind of it's a luxury good pretty much. So,
Yeah, it just feels nice. You just get that serotonin once you get like the commission back.
yeah, pretty much. So if you're a purveyor of certain kinds of art, then why wouldn't you end up commissioning that kind of art? Hi.
Exactly.
Alright. So out of the two games we did just then, did you prefer the poker one or blackjack?
The blackjack was surprisingly fun, but wow, I didn't think I actually straight up won.
Alright, we'll switch to blackjack then. Easier to handle. It takes up less board real estate.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright. Okay. No more bets, thank you. Okay, player 16. Dealer 20. I should have put that one face down, but there you go. Make your choice then. Hit or stand. I don't really think you have too much of a choice here if you want to win. Because I will say this. If you don't hit, I automatically win.
What?
Bust.
You're going easy on me, aren't you?
Bust. Okay. There we go. Alright. This one's your first one. Let's see what you get.
Okay.
Oh. Oh, this one simply reads as do a song cover or karaoke at some point.
Song cover or karaoke? Oh, I haven't done a karaoke in forever.
Good luck, good luck. All of these run with the year-long stipulation, so you have a year to do it at some point.
I'll have to let you know what time and date when I am planning a song cover or like a karaoke.
Good luck with that.
Keep in mind, I am still beginner level singer.
Oh, that's fine, that's fine. You can't necessarily get better at singing without, well, singing, so, you know.
Exactly. But I did find out recently about my singing voice. Like, I was like singing something randomly, and I was told by a friend that my singing voice is more on like the guy singing voice, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh no, that's okay, that's okay. Just, you can pick the more Ikemen songs if you wanted to, in which case.
Because like for some reason, like I was like singing a song, but for some reason I was like struggling because it was a high pitch. But then I listened to the male cover version, and I'm like, why do I have an easier time like singing the male cover version? like that kind of thing, and I'm like, eh. And then I was told that, and I was also told that my singing voice is actually lower than Calafina's, and I was like, what? I thought like, Calafina's voice was lower than mine.
Oh my. Anyhow, next round, here we go. Okay. Okay, player 20, dealer ace.
Oh wow.
Take that as you will, take that as you will. I'll say this, any card except for another ace will bust you immediately.
I go, I'll probably go full front and say hit.
Eh, you're gonna hit on this. Oh god.
Hit it.
Bust, 15. Or 25.
Ah.
99% of people would stand on that.
Ah.
Dealer 18. Rira? Rira?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you just a masochist at this point? Because that was either a guarantee win by standing or what's it called? A potential guarantee win by standing unless I had a face card. And there
I
was
thought I told myself to take it easy on the masochism.
so now I'm just like
Ah.
Oh, this one's actually just a very easy one. In your case at least. It just simply reads draw, do art or sketch.
Oh, okay, that would be easy.
Yeah.
Of who? Who do I draw? Just you?
Oh, entirely up to you, entirely up to you.
Okay, yeah, that's
freedom,
easy peasy.
freedom to do art, freedom to do art.
How about at your request?
Yeah, at my request?
Yeah, you're the one that won the bet, so why don't I draw something at your request?
Let's see. I don't know. Either me just pouring out some wine or something similar, I guess. Something to do with alcohol. We'll run with that.
Okay.
Alrighty. Next round, here we go. Okay, player 11, dealer 4.
Okay. How about a hit?
Player 21. Fuck. Okay. Dealer 14. Unless I get a 7 here, then I lose, basically. 16. Now the only option I have is to get 5 cards. 5 cards at 16 is already really close to impossible. And dealer bust.
Oh.
Alright. Man, I have terrible luck today, I suppose.
That's okay.
Okay, this one simply reads as challenge run. Huh. Means at some point I just need to put a modifier on a game of some kind and then just do a challenge run of some kind. If you've got any particular game in mind, go for it.
Challenge run.
Can be as simple as marathoning an entire game in one sitting, trying to do a speed run of a game, or just placing any kind of difficulty modifier onto a game, like not being able to use this or not being able to use that, etc, etc.
Oh. Okay. Trying to think of something.
Yeah, you can get back to me on it whenever. Also,
Yeah,
Casca,
something...
please purge the bot. Thank you, Casca. Hi. Don't mind it too much. You have a year to figure it out either way.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Alright. We'll do 2 more rounds. We'll do 2 more rounds to round things out. Alright.
Okay.
Here we go. Alright, player 13, dealer 4.
How about a hit?
Okay, player 22, bust.
No!
Okay. Dealer 12. If this is a face card, it's a draw, basically.
Okay.
It is indeed a face card, draw.
So it's a draw. I see.
Okay, well, let's just rule that as both of us have to do this next one.
Okay.
Whatever it comes out to be. Oh, this one just reads as horror game.
Oh! Wait, who's gonna play the horror game?
Oh, it just means both of us have to play a random horror game at some point, I guess. Alright.
What horror game should we play?
Let's say a whole bunch of them out there.
Like, what do you have in your Steam library for horror games?
Let's see. There's a bunch of solo horror games. I've actually got quite a lot of them sitting around.
Hmm.
Let's see, so... Okay, into the horror, I have both the Amnesia games, Amnesia, Machine for Pigs, Dark Descent. I'm pretty sure I have a copy of Limbo lying around. That one would actually be considered the worst one for me, by far.
Wait, why?
Have you seen the spiders in Limbo?
Okay, yeah, that giant spider was kind of.
Yeah. Apart from that, I've got a couple of others. I've got a copy of Soma, pretty sure. I
Solo.
have all of the Higurashi games, but those are all, you know, long
it's too
visual
fucking
novels. Yep.
Too fucking long.
I have Phasmo. Of course, I have Phasmo.
Phasmo, I feel like when
Yeah.
it would be not be scary.
Yeah. I have a bunch of random... I have Little Nightmares as well. Oh, I didn't know I had Little Nightmares.
Oh, I never play Little Nightmares. Oh, what the hell? I also have it too. I never played it.
They gave it out for free at some point.
Oh, yeah, it was probably a free giveaway, but yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of random little horror games I have lying around for whatever reason. I think I ever picked them up on sale back when Steam sales were like ludicrous 90% offs and all that. Or just whenever they popped up. But yeah, we'll see what we end up picking out. Because yeah, there's a good chunk of stuff that I have tried in the past, and a good chunk of stuff I definitely have not. If anyone in the audience has anything to suggest, then sure, go ahead.
I know someone has suggested Choo Choo Charles, Inside, and Yomawari, which all three I've
Ooh.
never played before.
Okay, Yomawari might actually be the really good pick for this one, actually.
Okay, yeah, I've never played Yomawari before.
Yomawari's really good.
Oh,
Pretty sure it's a single player one though, but yeah, why not? Yomawari is an interesting one.
which Yomawari do I play? There's Night Alone, Midnight Shadows, and Lost in the Dark.
Let's see, I think Night Alone is the first one. They're all very good and kind of separate to each other anyhow.
Nipponichi Software.
Night Alone's the first one? Okay, yeah. Night Alone is, it opens up very strong. It opens up a very particular way and very strongly, I will say. But yeah. Because I've only played, like, the first 30 minutes to an hour of Night Alone, so... Yeah. We'll go with that one,
Okay.
Let's see. Don't worry about it, Casca. Don't worry about it. But yeah. For when we get around to that, if you want to make it a collab of some sort, we can go ahead. If not, then hi. We will just see what each other's reactions are separately at some point.
Okay.
Yep. As far as I'm concerned, your schedule is foobar enough that you end up in Australian time way too often.
Actually, my sleep schedule's kind of fixed to normie NA, but I might fuck it up sooner or later. I haven't even fucked up I tried to fuck up my sleep schedule as soon as I moved, but I couldn't. It ended up being normie.
Wait, you tried to fuck it up on purpose. Oh, wait.
Yes, I tried to fuck up my sleep schedule, but I couldn't. Yeah, I'm on PST and I can't even fuck it up.
Nice. Alright, final round. Here we go. Hey, player 15, dealer 10.
I'll stand for once.
You'll stand for once on 15? Okay, that's pretty brave. Dealer 16. Fortunately, due to the rules of a casino, I would actually need a hit. Dealer bust.
Dealer bust.
That was the correct play there.
Oh my god.
So the thing is, you would only be allowed to make that play on a $100 minimum table, actually.
Wait. Play
Yeah.
on a $100 minimum table?
Yep. You would only be able to make that particular play on that kind of table.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, this one simply reads as tag tier list. Ah.
Tag tier list? Oh. Oh.
I don't think I've released one that's just a personal one solo before, so yeah.
Wait, what do you mean tag tier list? What kind of tags?
Those kinds. Those kinds.
Wait, the one from like Dojins?
Huh?
There's none other. What else do you think?
I see. Okay.
You dodged that one.
Oh my god. Now I have to watch you do that.
Yeah, sometime in the next year. I have like an Excel spreadsheet lying around anyway, of which I can just draw them from. But yeah, hi.
Yeah, definitely let me know which one, like when you're gonna do that for sure.
Alrighty. And that's it for the card game section.
That was fun.
I honestly should learn a bunch of other card games just to make it a little more than just blackjack or random bits of poker miners, but yeah. Not much you can do in terms of interactivity over the net, so to speak.
Yeah, the blackjack one is fun, and poker, like the poker one's fun too, but it's a little bit.
It's
like,
very high rolly, RNG-ish.
Yeah, very very RNG.
If it's someone who's experienced with poker, we would have been able to do like open draw poker, which would be, I give you 5 cards and then you just select which ones you want to replace, pretty much.
Oh yeah, that would be a lot more helpful because like I think with poker it might be better to do it kind of in person style.
Yeah. If not, there's the other variant of poker called Omaha Poker, and that one's actually really hard to do over.
Oh.
That one's really hard to do online because how that one works is you actually give the player 4 cards instead.
Oh wow.
You give the player 4 cards. The river is still 5 cards. But the way this works, the way Omaha works, is you have to make up your hand with specifically 2 of the cards in your hand and 3 of the cards in the river.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's a lot more very action-packed and all that. It's just very complex. Because people can actually, like, even veterans can still manage to fuck up what their hand is supposed to be.
Oh no! Yeah, that does sound probably like really hard.
Yeah, like, it's not bad when you get used to it. As a dealer, it's a bit funky because you realize, oh, not only do you actually have to worry about the potential combinations and all that, where there is a ridiculous amount, you have to worry about the payouts and limits and whatnot, because the payouts and limits are significantly different from Omaha as well. Because it's such a high rolly, far more action-packed one, they actually give you less money because of the higher potential of winning. With blackjack, it is mainly a 1-to-1 game, so even money game. Apart from if you bet on either pairs coming out, or if you bet on blackjack coming out. Blackjack, if it comes out as the first result, so if you get an ace and a 10 or an ace and any face card, pays 3 to 2 instead, so you get 50% extra.
Oh wow.
That one's purely luck though, purely luck. On the other hand, the game that I deal on my day-to-day, that's Baccarat. Baccarat is very insufferable for a lot of people.
Baccarat.
Baccarat is just heads or tails. A very overglorified heads or tails.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All the Chinese aunties and uncles play it. All of the ones that are over the age of 50 or 60.
Oh, I can see how that can be great.
That's my clientele.
Oh my god.
So how Baccarat works is there's player and bank, and that's all you really bet on. Player pays 1-to-1, bank pays 0.95 to 1. As a dealer, you have to work out with the mental math of taking 5% off of a bet.
That is so big brain.
It's not that bad when you get used to it until people start putting weird numbers like, oh, okay, what if this guy decides he wants to bet 7,700?
Huh?
Now take 5% off of that.
Huh?
Let's just
My
say
brain just kind of blanked out from that.
yeah, even I don't really want to do that kind of stuff. In total, yeah. Yeah, you'd be taking 385 off the top.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're not allowed to break out a calculator or any kind of mechanical device. You have to do that in your head.
Bro,
Yeah.
a calculator would be so much easier.
But here's the thing. The guys in chat have worked out the commission for the amount you're taking off the top. They haven't worked out the actual payout is the problem.
Oh.
So then you either have to do the math in your head and work out how to take that out of 7,700. So you'd either have to directly negate 385 from 7,700, or you use a couple of tricks that we have. Stuff like, we call the method shop change. So we would give them, we would first take out 3 red chips, and that would represent $15 extra, pretty much. And then we're like, okay, we've already added $15. We will then, because you plus that plus the commission together, you then negate that as 400 from the rest of the bet, and then you take out the required bets or required chips to finish out the rest. You would then think like, okay, so by taking up that 3 reds first, you deal 15. Then you would go, okay, what's left after subtracting 400? 7,300. You'll then take out 3 blacks, 2 oranges, and a yellow. And then that would be your payout. 7,315. Back it all up, pass it out.
Oh, okay.
You are expected to do that in less than 15 seconds.
Oh my god, Jesus. Holy go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my god.
Yep. Like, don't worry. The easiest one, the one that you get most of the time at the casino, someone just gives you, let's say, someone just gives you 3 black chips. That's $300. Work that out. You're like, okay, so what's the commission? Commission is $15. Okay, to work out $15, you'd then be like, okay, I will need 2 red chips, 3 green chips, 2 black. Done. 285, hand it out.
Also, like, kind of like counting cash, but like chips.
Yeah. That's why we call that method shop change. Not many dealers use the shop change method. I'm one of the weird exceptions that prefers that method. Most people use what's called the unit system, where it's like, okay, a $5 chip is worth 100 in terms of commission, blah, blah, blah. That method, you never work out how much you're actually taking off the top. You just work out the final amount.
Oh, okay, so that's how it works.
Yeah. It's some very funky stuff, learning how to deal baccarat. But simply put, alright. Well, let's just play one round of it for fun. No stakes whatsoever.
Okay.
Player or bank, player or bank. Literally a coin toss, just pick one or the other.
Okay. Player bank. How about bank?
Okay, bank, alright. Let's go. Okay, 6 the player stands. 6 the bank, tie on 6. No one wins.
Oh.
That's how quickly baccarat goes, and then you have to start doing the payouts.
Oh wow, that's fast.
Yeah. There is a weird amount of extra conditions and all that for drawing extra cards. It's just that we managed to get the one combination where you don't draw any extra cards.
Oh.
So for instance, if I were to go again, baccarat the player, natural 9 the bank. Okay, we don't draw any cards anyway because we hit 9. Bank wins, natural 9 baccarat. How we do that, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your simple crash course on baccarat. Terrible game. I hate dealing it. It's the only game I'm coded to deal apart from Sickbo, so sadly I have to deal that game.
Oh my god, that must have been hard.
8-hour shift dealing said game.
How
To random millionaires and billionaires that kind of just want to kill some time.
How do you stay sane? Eiko, how do you stay sane after that? For 8 hours every day? But I mean, at least you get paid, but still.
You think I've ever remained sane for an extended period of time? You're talking to the guy who seems to commission too many lewds.
So, yeah.
Nah, you get used to it. You get used to it. Like at first, it's like a
see-
bloody stressful job, but after that, nah, you get used to it.
At this point, I'm just like, you know, I can kind of see why you did commission yourself some lewds. It's okay, I'm not any better.
Anyhow. Final 2 questions of this interview. First one.
Okay.
Recommend some food. Any food whatsoever.
Recommend some food? Sashimi.
Sashimi. Okay. Any specific sashimi?
Sashimi, so far I've been taking a huge liking to hamachi sashimi or yellowtail.
Yellowtail. Okay. Homo.
I think it's also called buri too, I think.
Alright.
But normally I tend to call it like that or like just yellowtail because it's like if people don't know the English version then I just go yellowtail instead of hamachi, that kind of thing.
Fair enough. Over here, sashimi's bloody expensive, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it really is, but it's so good.
Like, you'd buy a regular... Okay, so if you go to a sushi train and get some salmon nigiri, it's maybe $3.60 for the 2 of them. It's just that the moment you convert that over to being like 5 pieces of salmon sashimi, they suddenly bump the price up to like $12.
Yeah, that's like... Yeah. It sashimi for some reason is more costly than sushi, and I don't understand why.
It's thickness of the cut, sides of the cut, I usually find it to be. Usually.
And probably in multiples too.
The fanciest time I had sashimi was at one of the casino's signature restaurants.
Oh.
Yeah, it was when I dragged the one behind me for her birthday. And yeah, the plate of sashimi they sent out was $80+ and had maybe 20 something pieces on there.
Oh my god. Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, that's quite...
That was an arm and a leg for some sashimi. It was very fucking good sashimi, but an arm and a leg.
$80 for only 20?
Yep.
Yeah, bye.
It was like, let's say it was kingfish, tuna, salmon. They had snapper in there, and I think they had two or 3 other ones, yeah.
Red snapper's so good.
Yep, that particular time was the thing that got the one behind me into kingfish, of all things. Hi. But anytime we go to sushi these days, it's like, yes, make sure to get kingfish.
Kingfish does look good though.
Very nice, especially when they add a little dollop of like yuzu or any kind of yuzu sauce, basically.
Oh, yuzu.
That works really well with kingfish for some reason.
Yeah, I don't think I've had fish sashimi before. Yeah, no, I haven't. Yeah, I should try the kingfish sashimi. I just have like the usual like salmon, tuna, turtle, yellowtail, red snapper if they have it, horse mackerel if they actually have it.
Anyhow, for the final question, recommend a drink. Any drink whatsoever.
Wait, does it have to be alcoholic or?
Not necessarily. You can go with anything.
Okay. Alcohol-wise, I would recommend soju, especially flavored soju. Those are really good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they taste like candy, but I have gotten drunk to the point where I've gotten drunk by like drinking an entire bottle of soju. Straight up from the bottle.
Wait, just the one bottle?
Yeah, one time.
Okay.
I got so much shit for that.
Okay, I have a gist of your alcohol tolerance then. Got it.
But then there's another method for soju where like you pour soju into a glass, then you put like those like Korean melon bars?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you put the melon bar in, and then you put like some sort of like Sprite in. That one's a really good combo.
Oh.
I forgot what it's called. I usually just call it the Melna soju drink, and it's like so good.
Okay, so the most common time I have soju is anytime there's like some kind of big party and someone wants to go out to like some Korean restaurant or something.
Mm.
The 2 times I've had it like that out in public, at least where I've been dead plastered drunk, at least. One of them was a friend's Korean barbecue, where we were celebrating their birthday, and then all of us kind of got kicked out of the establishment for being too rowdy.
Oh shit!
Yeah, said establishment eventually got closed down because they threw 2 patrons out on the street and kind of left them there for 4 hours.
Damn!
Yeah, that place doesn't exist anymore.
They're pretty well known for throwing people out of the bar, aren't they?
Look, they did their responsibility. It's just that it was caught by the media and it was given a very bad rep. So, yeah.
Oh. Even though it's the patron's likely fault.
It was definitely the patron's fault. It's just that the patrons didn't exactly leave the premises, so yeah.
Yeah, that's the patron's fault, to be honest.
It got into an awkward grey area, the media exploded all over it, yeah. That place kind of got forced to close down. I think it's like a Chinese noodle place these days. Something like that.
Also now it's just a Chinese noodle place?
Yeah.
Okay.
As for the second time I got that dead drunk off of soju, it was after dealer training school, actually.
Bro, why?
So we graduated from dealer training school, which meant that, we can officially deal on the floor now. So it's like after 40 plus exams, like 37 of those are written exams and 3 of them are practical exams. And that's in the span of like 6 weeks. So we were doing an exam almost every day just to be accredited to be a dealer.
Oh my god.
It's the equivalent of doing like a minor course, pretty much, at any university. It's like a full-on proper qualification. You have a certificate and everything for it. Yeah. I don't remember where I put my certificate for that, but I am accredited to do it officially by the government. But yeah, in a nutshell, the training school I had, they were very tight-knit, very close and all that. And the trainers had a tradition where after every training school that would successfully go through, they would hit up a restaurant and drink.
Oh!
For a couple of people, that was their first time drinking. For me, this was discount alcohol.
Oh my god.
So that night, I'm pretty sure I had the equivalent of 22 shots of soju.
Jesus, that's a lot of shots.
With a couple of like cans of beer here and there.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I kind of barely made it home after that.
You handle alcohol better than I do. I got dead drunk after... I was like pretty much dead, like crazy drunk when I took like 14 or 16 shots of soju. Or I can't even remember because I remember like downing the whole bottle.
One whole bottle of soju is roughly 6 to 7 standard drinks, depending on the size. At least the standard ones we get here in Australia. Overseas, they tend to be like 3 or 4 standards.
Oh wow.
So I pretty much went through at least 2 or 3 of those bottles and barely made it home.
Bro! Eco!
I'm pretty sure when I got to my train station, I looked at a bush and was like, that bush looks nice. Thunders straight into the fucking bush. Wipes myself off. Okay, now we can go home.
No! Okay, no more soju for you, Eco.
Oh, the only times after that I've had soju is anytime meeting up with like Sydney VTubers, basically, because they like doing what's called Titanic, and that's where you fill up a glass full of beer, put in a shot glass to float it, and then start pouring soju in. You then pass it around to the next person, and whoever sinks the Titanic has to drink the lot.
God.
You know, it's a drinking game. It's a drinking game.
I've never heard of a drinking game like that, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh god. So you probably lost a few times, didn't you?
Oh, I deliberately lose. Because it's kind of just like it's free alcohol.
That explains the tweets. Oh God, Eco. That explains everything.
Like, it's either I set it up so that the next person is 100% going to fail, or I fail it myself. Yep.
Remember that the last time I got drunk, I just played Elden Ring and then got intervened. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm not doing Drunken Ring ever again.
Oh god. Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah, it was quite the intervention. Because of that, I got quite the nickname.
Yeah, what was the nickname? What was the nickname?
It wasn't by my community, it was just by one person.
Okay.
I got called a fucking butt fucker. Because of the shit I said on stream.
Oh, that stream!
Yeah, because of the shit I said on stream.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was clipped and sent to me at some point. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it was. And I'm just...
Yeah, that was definitely sent through to me.
Yeah, I got an intervention and they're like, really? You were saying shit like dummy thick and that kind of thing?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was like really unhinged.
I've gotten some interesting nicknames here and there, mainly for all of the lewds that I've ended up commissioning.
Oh
Hi.
God.
Hi. Like, if you notice, there's a post I made recently just asking for an NSFW tag. Hi, the one that you see posted multiple times.
I'm gonna go take a look.
Oscar just sent it in chat even. Hi. I've had that particular phrase thrown at me very often.
Oh
Thanks for that.
God.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure every single one of the scabs that I've commissioned have always been completely sober, so you know what? That's fine. I at least haven't I haven't sent anything while dead drunk, at least.
Oh God. Actually, I don't even know if the artist would accept it if you were drunk, because will it be like eligible reading?
You really want to know the answer to that?
I'm a bit scared to know.
Some of the best works that I've ever written have been while dead drunk, so what do you think?
Oh God. Oh God.
Look, anytime there's a creative out there, they normally need some kind of coping mechanism somewhere. And for me back in the day, that was a lot of alcohol.
And then somehow like that gets created and it's like, oh, I see.
It wakes up dead hungover. Either it is the most incomprehensible scribble possible, or there's actually something salvageable from it. But there have been times where I wake up, look at my laptop that's still on my lap, open, and all I see is, how did I write that? It sounds like 3 generations worth of ESLs just smashed together, so, yep, I'm just gonna delete that. I'm gonna pretend I didn't write that the night before.
Oh shit.
Yep.
So that's how the drunken stuff happens.
Yeah, that tends to be what ends up happening when getting drunk. The one behind me has now prevented me from getting drunk on very many occasions now.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
I have drunk maybe once or twice in the past 3 months.
Yeah, I think that's a good restriction to have. Actually, last time I drank was probably a week ago, but it was like only a simple drink and that's it.
Last time I drank was like half a strong zero and I was dying because my alcohol tolerance just healed over within those 3 months.
Oh, yeah, I think your body's trying to catch up.
My alcohol tolerance was just like, no, buddy. No, you've been out of the game too long.
Yeah, I think your body's starting to like catch up and it's like, oh, yubbit.
Hey, anyhow. That does more or less bring this interview to a close.
Yeah, thank you for the interview again. That was so much fun.
Thanks for being on again. Thanks for being on again.
Yeah, no worries. It was a good time to catch up with you too.
I'll be honest, when I did the first interview with you, I was pretty underprepared and I was a bit frustrated after finishing that one. So it's like, I need to catch you again at some point and do right.
That's okay. I was like dead nervous at that time too, but now I'm just like, I'm a lot more prepared. Well, kind of prepared, more so kind of like I just finished work and I'm tired, but I'm here to relax kind of thing.
It's perfectly fine, honestly. Perfectly fine. In the meantime, let me see if there's actually anyone at this time of day that I know that I can raid. Let's see.
How many people are streaming?
Good chunk of people
wow,
streaming right now.
A lot of people streaming.
Let's see. Oh, this is decent timing. All right. Find the one which I know doesn't shut up for more than 10 seconds at a time. Which used to have a bad enough sleep schedule that they were in Australian hours, despite being in America.
Another American having Aussie hours.
They used to have that bad a sleep schedule. I think they got close to fixing it. Close, they say. Because I think when I chatted with them last time, they said no, nowhere near close.
Yeah. Oh, her. I missed her. But yeah, like her sleep schedule's like flipped.
We had some very unique circumstances, which pretty much allowed for that.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep. Like, how does one put it? Coda. Coda. So, child of deaf adults. Can be as loud as she wants at any time of the night, simply because parents can't hear jack or shit. Anyhow.
If they can't hear her, that's okay.
Nonetheless, though, thanks once again. Let's send these guys off.